What's up, everybody? Welcome to More Trades. Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope your trades are going your way. Whether you're long or short. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, a quick look, and see what's happening with Bitcoin. I like to look at volatility. I'm going to take the RSVVB, the Caterpillar, and let's look at how contracted or expanded. At the moment, it's not very contracted. It's a bit expanded due to the move that we had yesterday, but it needs time to cool off. ATR on the 1 hour chart, I think it's high, still not low. We want it down to the 150, 140 levels, and then that tells you there's an imminent move coming. When ATR is below 200, in my opinion, it's a good chance a move is going to happen. So if we go to the leave it on the 1 hourly and you go back and you look, whenever ATR comes like this low, 160, or our recent lows at 130, you saw it gave us this move up. So you could take a look to see when to expect a move, or to know that a move is coming soon, so you can be ready, anticipating a trade, a long or a short. But you can't know the direction using ATR. It doesn't show you the direction. Another important thing I'm looking at that tells you to anticipate a move that's coming is Fibonacci time. I see a Fibonacci time. Our Fibonacci time is coming in approximately 24 hours, but prior to that, so in 17 hours, I have, actually look at that, 24 hours will be the Fibonacci time, then 17 hours. So in 17 hours, I have my Fibonacci trigger line. I draw this myself because I noticed that whenever we have Fibonacci time, just before that there is a trigger time that starts the motion, and then the Fibonacci time hits. My targets at the moment, if I'm going to look at this and say my levels of support and resistance for the short term, my level of resistance at the moment is at this 23k range, 22.7, 22.9, and biggest level would be at 23.2. Here it is, 23.4 to 23.2. This level would be a big resistance level. On the other hand, support, you can see we have good support at 22.555, 22.600. We came down to 22.473. We came that low, but we have 22.470. At the moment, our support line is at 22.402, and we have another support line at 22.115. Those two lines are my support lines for now. If we lose them, then I'll be looking at this fib channel at 21.4, and then obviously the next one, I'll just be trading it level by level. So I would trade it, this would be my first target. Second target would be somewhere around here. This would be my second. And third target would be somewhere around here. These are the initial targets to the downside to anticipate a bounce. As you can see, bounces happen on this line, on this line, and on this line we were struggling till we got above it. So yeah, that's what I'll anticipate. And let's look at the news from Europe. What happened with the refinancing rate? Has it been announced? Oh, tonight, not yet. Okay, that will be a market mover most probably. So when London comes in, we would anticipate something, one of the two. Either the news will be priced in for an increased interest rate, which would help the euro. And if that happens, then that means the markets essentially trading against the euro will dump. So maybe it's already priced in with this dump, and the markets will just continue up after the news comes out. Or the news will come out and will continue to the downside. So we might have a slight relief now until the news comes out, and then we go back down. First level to worry about is 23,200. I mean, that's the strongest level for the moment, because I think we have our daily candle open there. Our daily open was just over here. 23,205 to be exact. It was the close of the previous day's candle at 23,208.53. So that's a level to watch for. I expected a red July. I said that so many times, but I'm not so sure now. I still think we'll have a red July, but so far it's been green. Ever since we started, we've been just moving up. Let's see how it plays out. Another line of interest would be this one, the green trend line that marked the two peaks. We broke above it. It was previous resistance. We can come down and retest it. And if we retested it today, it would be at 22,076. Let's look at our Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hourly and see what is it doing. Where are we? I think we're above it, but it's thinning out. As you can see, we are above the Ichimoku, but it's a very thin cloud. Easy to pierce through. So if Bitcoin wants to have an easy day to pierce through somewhere, today's a day. Or even tomorrow, 22nd. This is a channel that I've drawn that possibly Bitcoin was traveling in. You can see the white channel. Let's look at the white one. The white one, we've tagged it once to the upside, and then we rolled down and tried to go up, but we didn't continue, then came down, spiked lower, and continued up. The target was hit and exceeded, and we could possibly be failing at this resistance 22,968, and we could continue lower, either to the bounce off this trend line or all the way down to the bottom of this channel, which would be, if we did it today, around the 20,239. Another channel I would like to show you is this, the bear flag. We broke above and came down. We can always adjust our bear flag and say, okay, it's starting to look more like a wedge now. Rising, broadening wedge, which has a high probability of breaking or continuing down. It's like a bear flag. I mean, if it was a broadening rising wedge and it was going to break down, say today, the measured move for that break would be 14,202. And that's not impossible. Just have an open mind. Anything is possible. You shouldn't have sentiment as in just purely bullish or purely bearish. You can trade it either way, unless you're a holder. If you're a hodler, then you should just be looking forward for lower prices, as you can buy it cheaper. The DXY, I told you before, it might come down to 107 to 106 range and maybe get a bounce. And it looks like we had a bit, and we're retracing back. If we break this low, then it looks like DXY could come down to the previous support at 105. That's possible. My targets for the DXY to the upside, I have a target at around 120 and even at the 170. If I look at the DXY on the daily, this thing keeps making bull flags and ripping up continuously. So I had this target, we hit it, And if you take that measurement and just put it on top of this, now if we break up, we could see the 112. Actually, yeah, if we break up the 112, Bitcoin does have a gap it can fill at around the 27,500, 28k, 29k. We've had it for a long time, so that's something to be aware. Then we have this other gap at the 30k range, 35 to 36k. I like looking at Ethereum. I feel Ethereum trades better than Bitcoin. It respects the level. It lets you know what's going on, unlike Bitcoin. So you see Ethereum dropped significantly from yesterday. Almost 10%. And if we measure it from the day before, when it peaked the day before, around the same, 10.25. We have the 2020 range value high, January 2020 range value high that I took a measure of it, and this was the range daily high. So we can find support if we come down here on the 1406. You lose that, then you come to January 2020 demand wick. I had this target from before we came down, because I knew we would come down for those wicks, try to get liquidity. And that's exactly what we did. We came, I'll show you. We came right into this wick. This is January 2020 value area high. This is a point of control for January 2020. And this was a value area low. But the demand wick, we came for the first wick. And we could have come lower for the second wick. So we have two wicks, and we came for both, sorry. This was the low of January 2020, which we didn't take out yet. So just be aware of that. Ethereum below 700 is very possible. These are just long-term charts or long-time targets that I have for Ethereum. 911, 705. 911 was hit and exceeded. 705 is my next target. Solana, on the other hand, Solana and Ethereum sometimes are what can I say? They let you know what will happen to Bitcoin before it happens. So if I look at Solana on the 15-minute, a lot of times I noticed I can see a red candle, and if I go to Bitcoin, at the moment they're in sync, but sometimes you see the move developing in Solana and Ethereum, one of them before the other, and then it transfers to Bitcoin. So there is a movement of liquidity between them. The Dow Jones is going up, and we have resistance right over here. You just have to draw your resistance lines, and you can know where you stand in the chart. So you look at that resistance, 31967. Was support, broke down, wicked above several times, tried again, and you're still under. The retracement level for this move down from up here that we had from the peak of May 2022 till this bottom of June 2022. The retracement, the 0.618 is at 32,032. So if we pump up, I expect a rejection around that point for the Dow Jones. And if we pump up, just be aware that Bitcoin follows the equities, and especially the tech stocks like Nasdaq, S&P, and Dow Jones is a big player over there. The S&P, the SPX, looks like it's trying to make its way up, but it has resistance right over here. It might come up and try to fill this gap around the 4012. It's not too far. I have another chart for Bitcoin. This is BTC BUSD. That's against Binance USD. I have some levels marked out. We had this channel that we're traveling we were traveling in, we could come down and retest it at 21,892. And again, the same green trend line that I showed you earlier. I have these levels marked out, and as you see, we had respected them. Resistance, resistance, support, broke below it, and now it's resistance, and we broke under the other horizontal line that I had from previous levels, and we're struggling on them. These orange lines come from these wicks when we were dropping down. So the first one was this wick, and the other one was this wick just before we started dropping down. It's when we spiked up and continued lower, and then spiked up again. And you see there are levels of interest in the market. The VIX is a volatility indicator. And when the VIX is dropping, essentially the markets would rise. And when the VIX is pumping and above 30, the markets are dumping. So if we look at this date, say when the VIX was here, it was around, the highs were 31, and it was on the 14th of February. Let's try to see if that works out. 14th of February. Valentine's Day. What happened on Valentine's Day? There you go. 14th of February, Bitcoin was in this M formation, and it gave us a move down. So the VIX is an indicator to watch if you want to know how the market is going to act. Well, that's it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hope you like the video. Share the videos, comments. Any questions you have, you can put in the comments. I answer them, all of them.